After listening to Lin Moyu's narration, Emperor Qian fell into deep thought. King, he said, from this point of view, this manor should belong to the test category. Actually, the ocean god mountain that I entered once also belongs to the test category. It's just that the threat difficulty is relatively small, and the death rate is low, but the death rate in this manor is extremely high. According to the information currently available, it can be roughly analyzed that on the grassland, every 1,000 kilometers will experience a test. Every test can be passed after someone dies. It can also be regarded as clearing the way with blood. And the difficulty of the test is getting higher and higher every time, and the danger is getting bigger and bigger. During the third test, there will be a safe passage to avoid the test. After entering the passage, you will enter another test. This test is also 3 times, and a safe passage will appear again on the third time. If you enter the safe passage twice, you will be rewarded. Qian Wang's analysis was clear and logical, and Lin Moyu also felt that what he said was quite reasonable, and most of them were the same as what he thought. After Qian Huang finished speaking, Lin Moyu pondered for a moment. Senior brother Qian made a lot of sense, but I also have some opinions of my own. Qian Huang showed a look of listening attentively. He did not underestimate Lin Moyu at all because Lin Moyu is a novice. Lin Moyu's previous performance has long proved that he is not only strong, but also smart enough. Lin Moyu said, I think that every test can be passed, and it is just a lack of strength. In the third test, if you choose to enter the safe passage, you have already realized that you have given up the trip to the manor. The test after entering the secret room is to see if you can get the consolation prize if you don't come. If you can't even get the consolation prize, then just die in it. I don't know if senior brother Qian has noticed the movement of the demon clan, the twin demon. I noticed that he showed some painful expressions not long ago. He should have died in the manor, and the group was wiped out. The deity's face is very ugly. Then they sent 2 more teams into the manor, but the number was reduced, and each team had only 10 people. From this, I judge that the number of people entering the manor does not make much sense. On the contrary, it is possible that the more people the more chaos. But it's just my guess, but it's easy to confirm. Just keep watching the demon race, and there are other races. If they send in fewer and fewer people, or even one by one, it can prove my truth guess. Hiss. Qian Huang gasped. He didn't expect that Lin Moyu didn't pay attention to the movements of the demon clan. His previous attention was all on the human race, and he didn't care about the demon race at all. Such a comparison makes a judgment. In terms of being careful, I am really not as good as Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu continued, I'm going to talk to Elder Li about my guess. It's better not to let people go in and die. This manor is not suitable for true gods for the time being. The manor will suppress the strength of the entrant to the 5th level of the true god. But those who are lower than the 5th level of the true god can also enter. Therefore, when Renwang Network released the mission, the level limit was set at the 4th level of true god. Because on the battlefield, many human races have the ability to leapfrog challenges, and the 4th level of the true god will not be weaker than the 5th level of the true god. This is also a customary practice. But this time, something seemed wrong. Lin Moyu has another guess that he didn't say. He thinks that the manor may have higher requirements on the realm of the physical body. He looks like Emperor Qian. His survivability in the secret realm is much better than his team members, not because he is a god king, but because of his physical body, which is much better than his team members. Lin Moyu told Li Yuanbai his guess. Now Li Yuanbai did not dare to ignore Lin Moyu's words, and immediately passed on the information Lin Moyu said. At the same time, he ordered everyone to suspend entering the manor, and wait for the results above. Time passed day by day, and it was 5 days in a blink of an eye. 5 days is just a blink of an eye for practitioners, and no one is impatient to wait. For 5 days, Lin Moyu has been observing the changes of other races. Sure enough, the number of new teams sent by various races is getting smaller and smaller. The demon clan no longer organize teams, but let the demons enter alone. This completely verified Lin Moyu's guess. It is meaningless for multiple people to enter. Even a multiplayer is not as good as a single person. If it is not done well, the test faced by a multiplayer will exceed that of a single person. 5 days later, the upper echelons of the human race finally responded. Li Yuanbai said to Lin Moyu, "Little friend Lin, it seems that you are right." He took out a formation plate and threw it towards the starry sky. The disk array rapidly enlarged, covering a large starry sky. Everyone, enter the formation. Li Yuanbai shouted softly, his voice rolling like thunder. Zero seeking flowers. As a god, no one dares to disobey his orders. Li Yuanbai said, little friend Lin can also enter the formation. Renwang Network has updated the task reminder and rewards. Lin Moyu nodded and entered the formation. Through the array disk, he completed the connection with Renwang Network. This disk array is used to connect to the human Phoenix network in places where there is no human Emperor network. Sure enough, the task information was updated. Most of the sent messages have not been updated, and dangerous reminders have been added. Human Emperor Network recommends that only one person enter the manor, and it is not recommended to enter if it is lower than the God King realm. As the information obtained increases, the degree of danger increases dramatically. Although it has not reached the level of no solution, it is already the most difficult category under no solution. The reward has been increased from 50,000 points to 100,000 points, and the military merit has also been increased from 500 to 1,000. Everyone knows that the richer the reward, the more dangerous it is. This time, many people retreated and decided to give up. Although chance is very attractive, fate is more important. If you have a life to earn, you have to have a life to spend. However, there are also some people who are full of confidence in themselves and decide to go in for a gamble. Many people rushed into the manor full of confidence. Lin Moyu looked at Emperor Qian. Brother Qian, are you planning to go in? Qian Huang shook his head. I originally planned to enter, but after listening to junior brother Lin's analysis, I decided not to enter. I just became a god king, and the physical state is still stronger than Tang Qi's state. Lin Moyu knew Qian Wang's character, so he was very stable. This is not bad, only by saving your life can you have a future. Qian Huang asked, your brother is planning to go in, right? Lin Moyu hummed, I'm going to have a look. Emperor Qian didn't stop or persuade, he cupped his fists and said, I wish junior brother Lin good luck. Lin Moyu chuckled, thank you. As he said that, he turned around and flew towards the manor. With a gleam of light, Lin Moyu disappeared into the halo. After Lin Moyu entered, a black figure appeared in the starry sky. Zhu Qiwu appeared in the starry sky silently, and no one noticed his existence. He murmured, sure enough, I still went in. If it's what the brat said, with his body at the peak of the true god realm, there shouldn't be any danger. Let's see what happens in the end. The rules are chaotic, and what is the deepest reason is really unpredictable. As if passing through a layer of bubbles, a flower bloomed in front of my eyes, and the greenery instantly occupied the entire line of sight. Lin Moyu found that he was already in the garden, and that quaint and strange building was tens of thousands of kilometers away from him. On a piece of flat land, separated by tens of thousands of kilometers, it is impossible to see clearly. However, it can be seen here. The existence of the building is to point out the direction for the entrance, so as not to go the wrong way. Lin Moyu didn't act rashly, but sensed the changes in himself first. Strange laws are intertwined together, suppressing one's own strength. Not only the strength was suppressed, but also others. The soul is suppressed, and the ability to perceive danger is weakened. Before Tang Zhen said, there will be a sense of heaviness here, as if carrying a heavy burden, every move will be very laborious. Not only will the speed be slower, but the strength will be greatly reduced. But I don't have this feeling. It seems that my guess is right. Tang Zhen and the others feel that way because their bodies are too weak. In addition, the perception becomes weaker, so I can't respond in time to the danger. Lin Moyu waved his fist and stretched his body. The physical body of the peak of the true god makes him feel like a fish in water here. But Lin Moyu didn't take it lightly. There were many people entering the manor, from all races. Some races are born with strong bodies and have advantages over human races. Lin Moyu was thinking in his heart, and walked forward quickly. The benefits of a strong physical body were clearly reflected. He galloped forward at a very fast speed. The astonishing speed brought up a strong wind, which crushed the green grass on the meadow and made them all bend over. Lin Moyu's footsteps are heavy and somewhat reckless. Behind him, there are broken chapters flying around. Lin Moyu is like a dragon, running thousands of kilometers in a blink of an eye. According to Tang Zhen, the first level is the swamp. Just as the thought in my heart came up, there was a strange feeling on my feet. There is a sense of danger approaching. Lin Moyu didn't even think about it. He exerted force under his feet, his body jumped thousands of meters like a rocket, and after landing, he exerted force again and continued to leap forward. After several repetitions, the sense of danger disappeared. Lin Moyu thought to himself, not only the soul can sense danger, but the body can also sense danger as long as it is strong enough. It seems that I am right to choose the path of body and soul to practice together, otherwise the body may become a short board and form a barrel effect. The barrel effect, how much water a barrel can hold depends on the shortest board. Lin Moyu continued to run wildly without stopping. In a blink of an eye, we came to 2,000 kilometers, the second hurdle of the test. There was a roar in the air, and a bolt of lightning exploded directly beside Lin Moyu. The green grass turned into a gasoline barrel in an instant, and quickly turned into a sea of flames. With Lin Moyu's speed, it is completely possible to cross before the sea of flames forms. As long as he is fast enough, the sea cannot catch up with him. But at this moment, Lin Moyu stopped instead. He stood in place, motionless, letting the sea of fire envelop him. The flame quickly swept through the whole body, devouring itself. Lin Moyu turned into a burning man. The lightning from the sky disappeared, and no new lightning fell. The flames burned fiercely, and the surrounding space was distorted by the high temperature of the flames. Lin Moyu stood in the flames, motionless. After the flame continued to burn for a minute, it gradually extinguished. Lin Moyu looked happy, and it was exactly as I guessed. There is no law in the flame, it is pure heat. As long as the physical body reaches the fifth level of the true God, you don't have to be afraid of the flames. Even if it is the third level body of a true God, it will only be burned at most. When the realm of strength is suppressed, the cultivator enters it, and the only thing he can rely on is his physical body. Those who are not physically strong, unless they have a powerful magic weapon for protection, will face a very high mortality rate. But the powerful magic weapon for body protection is not so easy to obtain. The high-end goods that can be bought in the trading center alone are not enough. The main reason is that the strength has been suppressed to the fifth level of the true God, and it is difficult to use the magic weapon of the God King realm. Otherwise, with Tang Zhen's identity, how could he not have a powerful magic weapon for protection? Lin Moyu continued to run forward with his guess. In a blink of an eye, he entered the range of 3,000 kilometers. Countless grasses rose from the ground, turned into sharp arrows, and shot towards Lin Moyu. If the physical body has reached the fifth level of the true God, you can dodge with the reaction of the physical body, even if you take a few hard hits, it is not a big problem. If the physical body is not good enough, these arrow grasses will be fatal. While the arrow grass was shooting, Lin Moyu saw a gate emitting white light not far from him. The gate is what Tang Zhen called a safe passage. As long as you enter the safe passage, you will gain temporary safety. It is said to be a safe passage, but it is actually a passage to give up. Just want to give up, still have to go through the test. Why do you have to go through the test when you give up? Lin Moyu guessed that it was because there were too many people. If there is only one person, the test of giving up may not be needed. In fact, getting here is considered to have passed 2 hurdles. There is a difference between more people and fewer people. The fewer people, the safer it is. It's like a single-player dungeon in a small world. And the arrow grass here is also similar to the green grassland in the small world. When seeing arrow grass, Lin Moyu thought of Qingqing grassland, the two are too similar. Arrow grass is fast and densely packed. Lin Moyu used his body's instinctive reaction to dodge quickly. Here the perception of the soul does not work at all, and the only thing that can be relied on is the physical body. So in this level, Tang Zhen and the others reduced their staff by 4. He almost perfectly avoided all arrow weeds attacks, quickly left the area. Past the 3rd level. In the next level, there is no information, and he can only rely on himself. The scene in front of me has changed slightly. The originally pure grass has become no longer pure. Colors appeared in the green, and many flowers grew on the grass. I saw these flowers when I was outside the manor before. So that piece is a garden, not a grassland. In other words, the first 3,000 kilometers are pure green grasslands, and after 3,000 kilometers, it becomes a garden. The appearance of flowers brings different colors and vitality to this world. Lin Moyu can smell the fragrance of flowers and is very charming. At the same time, he could also feel that there was a unique aura in the space, dead air. It is the death energy. These flowers did not bring vitality at all, but brought a gloomy death. Lin Moyu has dealt with the undead army all day long, and he is very familiar with the breath of death, so he will never make a mistake. What the eyes see is completely different from the real world. Continue to move forward, the fragrance of flowers is getting stronger and stronger, and the dead air is also getting stronger. It's the fragrance of flowers, and the fragrance of flowers covers the perception of the soul. The sensitivity of the soul was suppressed again, more brutally than before. The soul's sensitivity to danger is completely abolished here. If you want to sense danger, you can only rely on your physical body. The difficulty has increased. Lin Moyu realized that the difficulty of the test had increased. The first 3 levels are just a novice trial, now is the real test. Lin Moyu is not a person who cherishes flowers and cherishes jade, and he does not know how many flowers were trampled to death by him along the way. Until the arrival of 4,000 kilometers, the 4th test begins. A gust of wind blows, the wind is like a knife, it can cut skin and flesh. The wind blew on Lin Moyu, making a metallic sound. The strong wind rolled up the flowers, exposing the ground, and there was a white bone lying on the ground. Green flowers, white bones. The picture looks very uncoordinated. In the eyes of ordinary people, they will only feel weird. But in Lin Moyu's eyes, it feels normal now. Such a huge breath of death would be abnormal if there were no white bones. This white bone was hidden under the flowers and plants, and its whole body was crystal clear, even paler than ordinary white bones. It looks like it's been a few years, and it's not a bone that was produced recently. The appearance of the bones is not human, but some kind of beast, but the head has disappeared, so it is difficult to distinguish. Except for the head, the outline of the white bones is still intact. There are 6 siblings in total. The 2 hind legs are thick and powerful, but somewhat short. In addition, the limbs are slightly thinner, but longer. Lin Moyu speculates that it should be a creature that walks on 2 legs and has 4 hands. No matter how you look at it, it looks a bit like a demon. Lin Moyu's confusion lasted less than 2 seconds, and the bones stood up abruptly in the gust of wind. If it was someone else, they would definitely be scared to death. The white bones that had been dead for so long suddenly moved. But Lin Moyu was unmoved at all, dealing with bones all day long, so little movement is nothing. As judged by Lin Moyu, the erected skeleton is indeed standing on 2 legs, and there must be 4 upper limbs. Then, countless flowers flew over, accompanied by the strong wind, covering the skeleton's body, as if putting on an armor for the skeleton. Immediately afterwards, the green grass also flew over, entangled and intertwined with each other, forming 4 long swords, which fell into the hands of the skeleton. Flowers are the armor, green grass is the sword. Except for the lack of a head, this skeleton looks no different from a living person. He stands 3 meters tall and wears flower armor, bringing a strong sense of oppression. Although there is no head, Lin Moyu feels that he is watching him. The perception ability of the soul was suppressed, and it was impossible to judge the opponent's strength, but Lin Moyu's body did not bring a sense of danger. It shows that the opponent's strength is not strong. It's just that this kind of lack of power is for him. After all, it is the test of the 4th level, and it may be fatal to others. Try it first. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and a skeleton war king appeared beside him. The skeleton warrior is nearly 4 meters tall, much taller than the headless man in front of him. The skeleton god warrior held a sharp giant axe in his hand, and looked even stronger than the opponent. Bone versus bone, Lin Moyu compared it, and what the warrior may lack is a piece of armor. If there is armor, the skeleton god warrior should be more majestic. Accompanied by the strong wind, the opponent roared towards Lin Moyu. The distance of hundreds of meters can be reached in the blink of an eye. Go! Lin Moyu gave the order, and the skeleton warrior swung his axe and went forward without hesitation. Boom! The 2 sides collided, and the skeleton god warrior did not dodge or evade, allowing the opponent's 4 sharp swords to slash on his body. The axe of the skeleton god warrior also fell on the opponent. Skeleton warriors have no fear of life and death, let alone what pain is. Even if it is dead, it can also be resurrected instantly. Lin Moyu used the skeleton god warrior to test the opponent's attack power. Surprisingly, the opponent's attack power was a bit weak, and did not cause any damage to the skeleton god warrior. The tiny damage is distributed among all the skeletons, almost negligible. And the axe of the skeleton god warrior directly chopped into pieces the opponent's flower armor, smashing the opponent's body like a bamboo. Accompanied by a soft cry, the opponent's body exploded, and the white bones shattered to the ground in an instant. So weak. Lin Moyu was a little surprised, the other party was far weaker than imagined. He thought for a few seconds, because he knew the reason. The overall combat strength of the skeleton god warrior is between the 7th and 8th ranks of true gods, and the 4 attributes are balanced, with strong physical strength and no shortcomings. In other words, the skeleton god warrior has at least reached the 6th level of the true god in terms of physical strength. As for the flower monster in front of me, its attack power is about the 4th level of the true god, and its defense is about the same, so it can be easily killed in seconds. The mana suppress the power of the soul, but not the power of the body. As long as the physical strength is strong enough, no matter whether it is the previous test or the current test, there is no difficulty. After probably understanding the result, Lin Moyu was about to leave when he suddenly saw a little light. The body of the flower monster disappeared, and the flowers, green grass, and bones all disappeared. At some point on the ground, something similar to a crystal appeared. The transparent crystal, only the size of a fingernail, lay where the heart of the corpse should have been. Lin Moyu picked it up and used the detection technique, but got no results. After careful inspection, this crystal is somewhat similar to the crystal obtained by Tang Zhen, and it seems to be the leftovers of Tang Zhen's crystal. After all, the crystal that Tang Zhen got was as big as an adult's fist, but what he got was only as big as a fingernail, so there was a big difference. But Lin Moyu was not disappointed. Instead he murmured, "Kill monsters, explode equipment." The scene in front of him made him feel even more familiar. It was really the same as the copy in the small world. There is no copy in the big world, even it is different from the one in the small world. Lin Moyu always thought that dungeons were just special existences in the small world, but he didn't expect this kind of familiarity similar to dungeons to reappear now. Continue. Lin Moyu didn't continue to think deeply. He knew it would be useless to think any further. With his current state, he is still far from exploring the secrets of the world. Putting away the transparent crystal, Lin Moyu continued to move forward, keeping vigilant. In his opinion, if it is just a flower monster, then the test of the 4th level is too simple, much simpler than the first 3 levels. But after he walked hundreds of kilometers, nothing happened, as if the 4th level had just been passed quietly. If those guys who choose to retreat in the 3rd level know that the 4th level is 100 things, will they regret it? Suddenly Lin Moyu realized that what he thought was wrong. It was not like this. Because I killed the flower monster in seconds, I felt that the 4th level was very easy. If it was someone else, it would be very difficult to kill the flower monster when the strength was suppressed to the 5th level of the true god and the body was not strong. It is even possible to be hunted down by flower monsters. From this point of view, the 4th level is not so simple. The first 3 tests are passive tests, and the passive test is actually the easiest to pass. As long as you are well prepared, you can always find a way to deal with it. And the 4th level is replaced by an active test. If you can't beat it, you will be hunted down. This is the most difficult thing. Lin Moyu chuckled. It seems that the consideration of the problem is still not comprehensive enough, so we can't generalize. Why? As he said that, another gust of wind blew, exactly the same as the gust of wind in the 4th test. The wind was so strong that it almost formed a wind wall, blocking Lin Moyu's way. Of course, the mere wind wall couldn't stop Lin Moyu, and Lin Moyu passed through the wind wall with just a little effort. However, the strong wind continued, forming a huge resistance, which slowed down his speed a lot. Lin Moyu paused slightly in his heart. He realized what would happen if there were flower monsters chasing after him and a strong wind blocking him in front. So the 4th level test is not as simple as I thought. The only way to pass the 4th level is to get rid of the flower monsters. Otherwise, there is a wind wall in front of you, and you can't escape if you want to escape. Crossing the wind wall lightly, without any flower monsters chasing after him, Lin Moyu didn't have to worry at all. After the calm, Lin Moyu began to rush again, faster and faster. The manor is very big, so many people came in, but they didn't even meet each other. Lin Moyu continued on and quickly reached the 5,000 kilometer mark. From the starting point to the manor, there are a total of 10,000 kilometers, and half of it has been traveled. The strong wind swept over again, rolling up a large area of flowers and plants like a tornado. The flowers and plants were blown away, exposing the ground, and there were pale corpses on the ground. The headless corpse, with 2 feet and 4 hands, is the same as the one seen before. Looking across, there are 3 in total. From the previous one, it became 3. The corpse stood up abruptly, glowing with vitality. The flowers became armor, the green grass became swords, and suddenly turned into 3 flower monsters. The 3 flower monsters are exactly the same in appearance and height. The body still doesn't feel the danger, which means that these three guys are not strong. If the previous test was difficult, then this time, the danger will be greatly increased. The flower monster has changed from 1 to 3, and the difficulty has also been magnified several times. But for Lin Moyu, there is no difference. Don't say 3, even if there are 330,000, it's all the same. A skeleton god mage came out in response, waved the skeleton staff in his hand, and cast a trap spell. Skeleton warriors use physical attacks, while skeleton mages are good at law attacks. The skeleton staff shimmered, triggering the law of immortality and bursting instantly. Lin Moyu acted first, and the three flower monsters exploded, and the flower armor was almost broken. The huge impact blasted the three flower monsters into the air for hundreds of meters at the same time. The sky is full of broken petals floating, like a rain of petals, colorful and beautiful. Afterwards, the petals rolled back and flew towards the flower monster. Not dead. As soon as Lin Moyu had an idea, the flower monster that was blown away turned back and charged towards Lin Moyu again. The gaps and cracked armor on their bodies were quickly repaired by flowers. At this time, the skeleton god mage's spells are cooling down and cannot attack again. Lin Moyu had a thought, and this time 3 skeleton god mages appeared. The 3 skeleton god mages each aimed at a flower monster and cast traps at the same time. The staff shimmered, and with the roar, the 3 flower monsters were blown away again. The same spell, dealing with 3 at the same time, is much different from dealing with only 1. More flowers were blasted into the sky. Lin Moyu saw that the flower armor was broken even more, but still failed to hurt the body of the flower monster. They came back again, and the armor was restored in a blink of an eye. Lin Moyu summoned the skeleton marksman, but unexpectedly, the skeleton marksman could not lock their souls. They have no soul. ... At this time, the flower monster was close at hand. Lin Moyu put away the skeleton magician, and blocked their attack by himself. The skeleton armor lights up, and the spell linkage automatically counterattacks. In the white light, the 3 flower monsters were blown away again, but they still survived. Lin Moyu clearly saw that the bone spears tore apart the flower armor, and the fangs of the bones hit the white bones, making a clanging sound. It looked like the attack was violent, but it didn't cause fatal damage. Something understands. Lin Moyu had the answer in his heart, and a Death Knight riding a white flame horse appeared in front of him. The Death Knight launched a charging technique, instantly knocking a flower monster into the air. With a huge impact force and an astonishing physical attack, the flower monster suddenly collapsed in midair. Immediately afterwards, the Death Knight rushed to the other 2 flower monsters, and the sword light flashed across, one by one, beheading them neatly. The resistance to the law is very strong. It seems that the effect of the law will be greatly weakened here. If you want to kill them, you still have to rely on physical attacks, pure strength. The law is invalid, because the king. What is the origin of this mana? Is it a pure strength cultivator? Pure strength practitioners do not rely on any laws, not even physical laws, and constantly improve their strength, constantly breaking the upper limit. This kind of person has only appeared in legends, and it is not a human race. It's just that the current big world is basically dominated by souls. Except for those races who are born with powerful physical bodies, the cultivation of physical bodies has almost been abandoned. The flower monster died, and the body disappeared, leaving only 3 fingernail-sized crystals. Lin Moyu picked him up, and when the 3 crystals approached, they suddenly attracted each other, and then merged together to become a slightly larger crystal. Something interesting. Curious, Lin Moyu took out the crystal obtained in the previous test, and sure enough, it also merged into it, and the 4 crystals merged into one. It is slightly larger in volume and presents a delicate deformation. Now is not a good time to study it. Lin Moyu put away the crystal and moved on. If you guessed correctly, the next level, there should be a safe passage again. Based on his and Qian Wang's guess, every 3rd test will appear in the 2nd safe passage. This is to give the tester the right to opt out. After walking 100 kilometers, the wind wall appeared again, exactly the same as the last test. Go through the wind wall and move on. In sight, the quaint buildings of the manor seemed a little closer. Lin Moyu knew it was just an illusion, but nothing had changed. The sight can see the building, just to point out a direction for yourself. Only when you really reach the destination, you can really see clearly. The 6,000th kilometer arrived as scheduled. It was quiet here. Lin Moyu looked over, and the flowers and plants in front seemed to become denser and taller. When the wind suddenly picked up, Lin Moyu silently said, "Hungry." The sky full of flowers and plants was flying in the air, and Lin Moyu saw the corpse on the ground. 10 corpses were scattered on the ground. A portal shining with white light appeared not far away, and the safe passage also appeared. The information of the test is already very clear. If you are not sure how to deal with these 10 flower monsters, then enter the safe passage before the flower monsters are resurrected. As long as you are not an idiot, you can understand what it means. In the wind, corpses stand up, flowers become armor, green grass becomes a sword. Knowing the strength of the flower monster and the intention of the manner, Lin Moyu didn't waste any more time this time. 10 skeletal god warriors came out in response, one-on-one, 10 axes went down, and the scene suddenly became silent. After picking up 10 crystals and merging with the crystals in front of them, Lin Moyu kept on moving forward. As seen before, the grass flowers gradually grow taller, and the environment changes again. After 3,000 kilometers before, flowers began to appear. Now after 6,000 kilometers, the flowers and plants grow taller and the environment changes, which means that the content of the test will also change. The flowers and plants are getting taller and denser. Soon, the height of the flowers and plants surpassed Lin Moyu's height. The density has also become extremely astonishing. As far as the line of sight is concerned, it is full of flowers and plants, and there is nothing else to play with. When Lin Moyu is advancing, the grass flowers will automatically fall to the sides, giving way to the passage, and will not contact Lin Moyu at all. The sound seemed to disappear, and it became extremely quiet. These peculiar flowers and plants seemed to absorb sound. The peculiar situation made Lin Moyu feel vigilant. The flesh became tense, and he felt something was wrong. Suddenly, the right arm tightened violently and felt cool at the same time. A sense of danger that only belongs to the flesh suddenly rises. It takes less than 0.1 second for the sense of danger to rise to the peak. Lin Moyu didn't have enough time to think, and his body didn't need to think, so he swung an almost instinctive backhand. Lin Moyu felt like his fist hit a piece of steel, and a figure flew out backwards. Although it cannot be seen, it can be analyzed that the flowers and plants give way to both sides. Someone wanted to sneak attack me just now, but I repelled it one step ahead of time. This is an instinct, and Lin Moyu has long cultivated this instinct in previous battles. He once transformed into various professions and learned the main fighting style of each profession. Know all kinds of weapons, all kinds of fighting routines. Later, he often held a sword and fought close to the enemy. Although in recent years, there has been very little automatic layering. The fighting instinct has been burned into the body, forming an instinct. Now in the face of a sneak attack, instinctively fight back and repel the enemy. Lin Moyu didn't give chase, he knew that was part of the test. Through the gaps in the flowers and plants, he can still see the direction of the ancient building and move on. It's so quiet here, unnaturally quiet, it can make people nervous. The atmosphere became tense, Lin Moyu's whole body tensed slightly, and the speed under his feet quickly accelerated. The flowers and plants kept falling to the sides to make way for him. After he passed by, the flowers and plants would return to their original shape. Even if Lin Moyu stepped on them deliberately, it would not have any effect. A sense of danger came from behind him again, and when the sense of danger reached its peak, Lin Moyu paused, jumped slightly, and sent upward. He jumped more than 10 meters high, jumping higher than the range of flowers and plants. The feeling of danger followed like a shadow, and the guy who sneaked up on him also jumped up. Lin Moyu looked back and saw a round silver skull. This silver skeleton is only 1 meter high, half length. No head, no lower body. Holding a dagger with a flashing green light in his hand, he stabbed towards himself. I have seen many skeletons, but this is the first time I have seen such a skeleton. Lin Moyu's heart moved, and a skeleton warrior appeared behind him. The skeleton warrior blocked the opponent's dagger with his body, and at the same time hit the opponent with an axe. With a crisp sound, the half-skeleton with no head and lower body was chopped to pieces on the spot. Lin Moyu took back the skeleton god warrior, fell back into the grass and continued to move forward. Flying is not allowed here, and he feels that if he jumps, it will be more dangerous. The first 3 games mainly tested resilience. The next 3 games will test the frontal combat effectiveness. Now it seems to be a test, actual combat ability. Lin Moyu analyzed quickly in his mind. Since it is a test, it must be purposeful, and it is impossible to randomly pass the test. Then from now on, there will no longer be a test every 1,000 kilometers, and now it is as if I have entered a real battlefield, facing danger anytime and anywhere. Lin Moyu was sure in his heart, he felt that his guess should be right. Recalling the various dungeons and secret realms I have experienced, the corners of my mouth slightly raised. I haven't had such an interesting feeling for a long time. The current situation made Lin Moyu excited, with a fighting spirit in his eyes, and he went to the doctor immediately. As he continued to advance, sneak attacks came from all directions. Using the body's reaction, Lin Moyu accurately found the direction of the sneak attack again and again, and easily resolved it. After he ran hundreds of kilometers again, the frequency of sneak attacks began to increase exponentially, and attacks often appeared in several directions at the same time, and became even more strange. Lin Moyu, who has the physical body of the peak of the true god, can actually completely ignore these sneak attacks. The attack power of the sneak attack is not strong. As long as the physical body reaches the 6th level of the true god, it can be easily dealt with. Even if Lin Moyu didn't do anything, it would be very difficult for the attackers to hurt him. However, Lin Moyu was still very cooperative in the test, and several skeleton generals appeared around him, chopping up the attackers one by one. What interested Lin Moyu was that the attackers were all half-skeletons. From the original flower monster to the current half-skeleton, Tang Zhen also encountered a fire-breathing skull. The owner of the manor seems to have a soft spot for skeletons. This actual combat test did not have any impact on Lin Moyu. Arche, he rushed out of the grass quite smoothly. The wind sounded again, and the world, which had been silent for thousands of kilometers, returned to normal. The grass behind him swayed in the wind. The guys who were trying to attack him in the grass before all shrank back one by one. He passed the actual combat test in the grass perfectly. At this moment, he is still 500 kilometers away from the ancient buildings in the manor. There is a green grassland in front of me, which is very flat and unobstructed. Just like the picture when he first entered this manor, if there were no buildings to guide the direction, and there were taller flowers and grasses behind him, Lin Moyu would have felt that he had gone the wrong way. It was so similar. It's less than 1,000 kilometers. Lin Moyu is running again. It won't be long before 1,000 kilometers. I don't know what's going on with the others. According to the difficulty of the test, 99 out of 10 people can't be forced. The death rate should be very high. I don't know how many will survive in the end. But like Tang Zhen, he always got fist-sized crystals, and I got such a small piece, which seems unreasonable. After entering the manor, the phantom of the building that has never changed has finally changed at this moment. They began to gradually become larger in sight, indicating that the distance between themselves and them became closer. Seeing, it is about to reach the destination. A bright light caught Lin Moyu's attention. It's a glowing portal, appearing right in front of him. As long as he doesn't change direction, he will crash into it head-on. Exit. Lin Moyu froze for a moment. It was exactly the same as the safe passage he saw before. How did the safe passage appear here? Lin Moyu was a little puzzled, instinctively slowed down, and stopped in front of the entrance of the safe passage. The safe channel always appears with the test, and its appearance shows that there will be tests. The last test. Lin Moyu made a judgment based on his own experience and speculation. Resilience, frontal combat capabilities, actual combat capabilities to deal with sneak attacks. What will be the last test? The difficulty should be very high and very dangerous, otherwise the safe passage will not appear here. This is a warning to me. If you don't want to die, give up now. Lin Moyu muttered to himself and walked forward across the safe passage. He has already come here, let him give up now. How is this possible? As he crossed the safe passage disappeared like a bubble. Lin Moyu smiled. Is this not giving you a chance to regret it? The safe passage is the last chance to give up, and it is also the last chance to exit safely. Now that Lin Moyu gave up, the safe passage also disappeared, depriving him of the right to regret. After the safe passage disappeared, the sound of neat footsteps suddenly sounded ahead. Lin Moyu's pupils shrank suddenly, and he saw an army. An army of skeletons. A deep interest rose in Lin Moyu's eyes. He didn't expect to see other skeleton armies besides his own undead army. The dead air in the space became extremely thick, and gusts of wind blew in, stirring up the dead air. No matter how weak the soul induction is for other practitioners, they can still feel a different aura at this moment. Not to mention Lin Moyu. In his eyes, the invisible death energy has accumulated into clouds, covering the sky above the skeleton army. The number of skeletons is not many, it is a team of thousands of people, lined up in a square formation, and it looks well trained. Lin Moyu judged that these skeletons were not strong through his sense of death. It is even weaker than the previous flower monsters and sneak attackers in the flowers and grass. It is estimated that it is about the fourth-order combat power of the true god. However, their number has increased by 100 times, so the danger has greatly increased. According to Lin Moyu's judgment, when the strength is suppressed and the power of the law is greatly weakened, it is difficult for ordinary practitioners to deal with this skeleton army. Unless it is a god who enters here, there is a chance to break through. Even if the cultivation base is suppressed, the gods generally have the physical body of the 6th level of Shenzhen, or even the peak of the true god. Or some races that are good at the physical body also have the opportunity to break through. From entering the manor to now, there has been no hint. The whole manor has always been very mysterious, and all the rules need to be explored by yourself. This is different from dungeons, where there will always be some hints. Even if it is a copy of the test type, it will always tell itself what to do. But in the manor, nothing was said. You have to think about the specific rules by yourself, Yin Suo. Invisibly, the difficulty is greatly increased. Fortunately, there is one principle that has not changed, and that is to drop 10 meetings with one force. As long as you have enough strength, you can ignore the rules and sweep your way. And the power doesn't need to be too strong, just enough to sweep the manor. Just like facing a 1,000-person skeleton army, other races, even those who are good at the physical body, as long as the physical body does not reach the 7th level of the true god, this level will be very embarrassing. They had only two options. One was to rush over, not get entangled with the skeletons, and rush into the house in the center of the manor. After all, it is not far from the house. The second is to fight in a roundabout way, looking for opportunities to kill these skeletons. But that wastes a lot of time, and the risks are not high. But Lin Moyu has a third option, which is to kill him. Get rid of these skeletons and push them horizontally. With a move in my heart, a large number of skeleton gods appeared around me. The number is not too many, exactly 1,000, corresponding to the skeleton army ahead. Then the skeleton god warriors swarmed out, jumped high, and rushed into the skeleton army. The axe was stomped down fiercely, and the broken bones flew. Lin Moyu saw it, felt a little weird, and muttered in his heart, cannibalism. Skeletons fight skeletons, it really feels like this. But after going through so much, Lin Moyu has long been hard-hearted and murderous, and soon pressed the emotions that shouldn't be in his heart. In the blink of an eye, the 1,000 skeleton army had been wiped out. The broken bones all over the ground disappeared, leaving behind small crystals all over the ground. The small crystal shards are weapons of war. Lin Moyu stretched out his hand and sucked them all in. The small crystals automatically merge into one and become a large crystal. Together with the 4 small crystals that Lin Moyu had obtained before, it was also added. In the end, the size of the crystal was comparable to the one obtained by Tang Zhen. It's just that the function of the crystal is still unclear, but Lin Moyu believes that the crystal must be useful. But the effect will not be too great, even Tang Zhen who gave up halfway can get it, it is conceivable. This is a consolation reward, or a basic reward, as long as you can get out of the manor alive, you can get it. What can be better if everyone has a share? Lin Moyu put away the crystal and moved on. Soon, the field of flowers and grasses came to an end, and Lin Moyu saw the old manor surrounded by bricks and stones. The bricks and stones are simple and unsophisticated, and have gone through vicissitudes, with traces of time carved on them. In addition, the masonry is filled with the breath of death, which is the breath that has accumulated over time. The strong breath of death changed the nature of these masonry. If ordinary people touch it, they will be corroded by the breath of death. It was like being cursed, ranging from serious illness to sudden death on the spot. Even if it is touched by a super god, it is estimated that it will be affected. Lin Moyu put his hand on the masonry and said softly, "It's such a pure breath of death." The breath of death I felt on the grassland just now was several levels worse than the breath of death in front of me. After walking along the wall for a while, we came to the gate of the manor. The gate of the manor has 2 pages on the left and right. It is extremely tall, more than 20 meters high, and is flush with the wall. The material of the gate is special, like iron but not iron, copper but not copper, but it is extremely thick at first glance. The door was closed, but not locked, leaving a tiny gap. Lin Moyu didn't look at the situation inside the door through the gap like a child. 0. Ask for flowers. He pushed generously and forcefully, and the door slowly opened with the sound of grinding teeth. A piece of dust fell from the door, indicating that the door has not been opened for a long time. Lin Moyu took a few steps back, avoiding the dust. It seems that I should be the first to arrive here. Although there were many people who came in at that time, with the strength of those people, it should be impossible to come here through the grassland. Not because those people are weak, but because the two are in different systems. This place has high requirements for the physical body, while the races in the big world pay more attention to the soul. The power of Lin Moyu's push and bend is not particularly strong. The gate stopped after opening only 1/10 of the way, revealing a gap big enough for 3 people to enter side by side. Standing outside the gate, I found that I couldn't see the specific situation in the manor clearly. Only those buildings are still hanging in the distance, still pointing in the direction. Those buildings that can be seen are just projections, not real. It doesn't do anything except point out the direction. Lin Moyu walked towards the manor without hesitation. Now that I have come here, I naturally have to go in, otherwise what is the point of coming here? As for whether there would be any danger in the manor, Lin Moyu didn't feel it. On the contrary, the strong breath of death made him feel comfortable. Such a pure and strong breath of death has never been felt before, whether in the small world or the big world. Entering the gate, a more intense breath of death rushed over. The breath of death inside the manor has risen to another level, like a dead Shiwan. The line of sight suddenly changed, and the scene in front of him suddenly became clear. There are clusters of flowers and plants of various colors competing for beauty. Obviously, in a world with such a strong breath of death, such beautiful flowers can be born, and they seem to be full of vitality. Death and life seem to have become friends. Lin Moyu's heart trembled, and he suddenly realized something. The picture in front of me is the law of immortality. Life brings death, death brings life. The acme of pure death contains tenacious vitality. Lin Moyu felt extremely curious about this manor, as if he had realized something. Looking up, the old castle in the manor is really displayed in front of you. The phantom is hazy and cannot be seen clearly. The castle is very tall, more than 100 meters, extremely ancient, and the whole body is made of unknown materials, exuding a heavy atmosphere. Lin Moyu glanced around and found nothing unusual, and quickly walked inside. The manor was silent, and Lin Moyu walked alone in the quiet manner. Nothing happened until he came to the castle. Standing in front of the castle, looking up, feeling the breath of the castle. Although it can't speak, many clues can be seen from it. This ancient castle is not the same as the search in the Great World Terran. At the very top is an umbrella-shaped cover that extends in all directions, covering almost the entire castle. It looks a bit like the old Chinese style, a Chinese castle in the previous life. Under it, there is also a wall made of some special materials intertwined with each other. Some places have been damaged, but the general structure can still be seen clearly. Lin Moyu looked with all his eyes, and those damaged places were not like the traces left by the years, but more like the traces left by the battle. Many supporting structures have been broken. If the fighting is more intense, the castle may be completely destroyed. Looking down, on the surface of the castle, also has many traces of battle. Among them was a sword mark, which left a deep mark on the castle, almost opening the outer wall. The gate was also split open by this sword. Lin Moyu used all his strength and punched the castle. There was pain in the fist, and Gubao remained motionless. The physical power of the peak of the true god cannot shake the castle. Lin Moyu originally wanted to summon the Skeleton King directly, trying to see if he could leave a trace on the castle, but he didn't do it in the end. He didn't know what bad things would happen if he did it. In fact, that punch just now should not have been hit. Through the split gate, Lin Moyu entered the castle. Behind the door is a passage about 100 meters long. The passage is very spacious, about 10 meters wide and over 20 meters high. The top is triangular and placed with beams. Some beams have also been damaged, and there are also traces of battles here, and the walls are full of sword marks and axes. But it is obviously much shallower. It is obvious that the people who entered the castle at that time were not as strong as those who fought outside the castle. The ones fighting outside the castle are generals, and the ones rushing in are soldiers. Lin Moyu guessed in his heart, walked along the dark passage, and walked inside. The breath of death here has become more intense, and it looks a bit eerie, but for Lin Moyu, this breath is very comfortable. There was a whistling sound in the ears, a fire was lit up in front of the eyes, and a skull appeared in sight. The skull was burning with raging flames, and with a sharp cry, it rushed towards Lin Moyu in the shape of a character. Lin Moyu thought of what Tang Zhen said. He entered a secret room after entering the safe passage, and encountered a flaming skull in the secret room. Whether the flamed skull in front of him is the same as the flamed skull encountered by Tang Zhen's team, Lin Moyu has no way to be sure. But the flaming skull in front of him was still not in his eyes. With a flash of white light around him, the skull god will come out in response, swinging his big axe and slashing at the flaming skull. Here, Lin Moyu already has experience. Laws don't do much, physical attacks work better than anything else. As long as the power is strong enough, nothing can be done. Under the axe of the skeleton god warrior, the 3 flame heads were quickly chopped into pieces. The flames scattered all over the ground, and since it was broken into fragments, it was still burning continuously. It looks like it can burn for a long time. Lin Moyu didn't feel any aura of law from the flames. The only thing he felt was the high temperature, which was enough to burn a true god to death. Continue to walk forward, and soon come to the end of the passage, and there are new roads on the left and right sides of the end. There is an antique table at the end. Something should have been placed on the table, and it has been placed for a long time, leaving a lot of marks. On the wall, hangs half a picture. It should be a small half, but most of it was destroyed. Even the remaining small half was severely damaged, and it could only be vaguely recognized that there should be a person in it. The table where things are placed, the paintings on the wall, Lin Moyu has an indescribably strange feeling. It's like offering something in worship. After watching for a while, I didn't see anything, so I stopped watching. Look to both sides, you can walk on the left and right sides, and make a choice. At this time, Lin Moyu's pupils shrank slightly, and he saw a white bone on the ground about 10 meters away from him on the left. The bones were half leaning against the wall, dead for an unknown number of years. Since entering the manor, I have seen many bones, so it should be no surprise. But this corpse is different. First of all, he is very ancient, and secondly, he is humanoid. The limbs are intact, except that there is no head. Other aspects are no different from human corpses. This discovery aroused suspicion in Lin Moyu's heart. Is this someone from the castle, or an intruder? It cannot be judged only from the corpse. But Lin Moyu has a way. A ball of fire lighted up, and Lin Moyu's finger popped out the undead flame. Della spell, raise the dead. The flame fell on the corpse, and the scene of the rebirth of flesh and blood did not appear. Instead, the corpse was completely reduced to ashes in the flames. What happened? Lin Moyu was stunned. The resurrection of the dead had failed. This is the first time he has encountered such a thing, and he was a little confused for a while. Is it because of the chaos of the law? There are other reasons. The corpse turned into ashes, and the undead flame gradually extinguished. Lin Moyu had sharp eyes and saw something among the ashes. With a wave of his hand, a gust of wind blew away the ashes, revealing what was under the ashes. It was a piece of animal skin, which was originally pressed under the bones, but now it was burned to ashes before he saw it. It is not bad for countless years. This animal skin is very extraordinary. Although the animal skin is not damaged, the writing on it seems to be very shallow, and some of them have even completely disappeared. When Lin Moyu saw the above words, his pupils shrank again. Ancient Chinese. He recognized this character. It was the same ancient Chinese as when he first got the original rune. Why here? There will be ancient Chinese. He didn't have the heart to delve into this question, and began to try to decipher the words on it. The text on it is intermittent, broken and chaotic. Lin Moyu, however, felt terrified. We finally got in. A lot of skeletons, because there are so many. He was too strong. The marshal died in battle. The ruler has also lost the wind. I saw the master offering sacrifices. The great world talisman. It's impossible. How can he be so strong? There is not much information that can be identified, and Lin Moyu managed to piece together the information. Even he doesn't know whether the order of the language is correct. Sometimes 2 words are reversed, which means different meanings. However, from these surviving texts, Lin Moyu probably figured out something. 1.1 The owners of the animal skins are invaders, and they fought an unimaginable battle with the owners of the manor. The owner of the manor can manipulate skeletons, and they are extremely powerful. Their marshal died in the battle, and even the more powerful overlord was defeated. In the end, though, they seem to have won. At least now, the owner of the manor has disappeared, and the manor is also in a state of desertion. Master. Master is the title of a position, or a title of a realm, or a title for a certain person. The Great World Talisman. Is it a Great World Rune? What happened to the Great World Rune? Wrong. Lin Moyu's eyes burst into light, followed by an inconceivable expression. No matter what happened to the Big World Rune, normally you shouldn't see the Big World Rune. According to the above, is the World Rune revealed? How can this be? It is common sense that the Big World Runes are unpredictable and cannot be seen directly. The Great World Rune is never revealed in front of people, and can only be glimpsed within half a second when the spell is sublimated to the stars. But that was only a glimpse, and those with weak strength basically couldn't see it. At most, you can see some light, which is already sky high, and more people can't see anything. But the record on the animal's skin, the rune of the Great World, was revealed. This is beyond common sense. Moreover, it was summoned by someone, and it was absolutely impossible for the Great World Rune to be summoned. But Lin Moyu thought again. He had seen the Big World Rune before. On the Big World Rune, there are scars all over, almost collapsed. His heart trembled violently. Could it be that the Great World Rune is here, and it was disabled? Lin Moyu was also taken aback by his own thoughts. He was extremely curious about what happened at that time. The era is too long, so long that even the resurrection of the dead cannot be used. If not for some special reasons, the years experienced would have been unimaginable. Lin Moyu put away the hide and continued to move forward. The material of the animal hide is very special. After so many years, it is still well preserved. Obviously, the animal hide itself is also an extremely precious treasure. Since the bones were found on the left, Lin Moyu chose the left path. Anyway, it makes no difference to him whether he chooses left or right. If it is really like the architectural structure in the memory of the previous life, the corridor now should be in the shape of a back, and the left and right sides will converge in the end, and it will be the same no matter which way you go. Gradually, there were corpses on the ground, and not just one, but 5. Not all of them were leaning against the wall, some were dead in the middle of the road. Without exception, the heads were all gone. The body was intact, with no scars. As for whether he died because his head was beheaded, or whether he was beheaded after death, it's hard to say. In Lin Moyu's eyes, every bone here was more respectful than the god Oten in his lifetime. Even if it is the corpse of a god, it is impossible to preserve it for so many years. At that level, even if someone cuts off his head, he won't die. The soul can survive independently, and it can even be reborn with flesh and blood. From this, Lin Moyu guessed that these people were beheaded after death. As for where the severed head went, the answer will be revealed soon. Walking to the end, there is a corner again, and the corner is to the right, which is consistent with his judgment. Just after turning the corner, Lin Moyu's body tensed suddenly, his muscles tensed, and he felt the danger coming. On the left, right, behind, and on the top, skulls emerged at the same time. These skulls spit out water arrows from their mouths. The water arrow is transparent, and looks no different from ordinary water, but its essence is completely different. Lin Moyu dodged several water arrows, and the water arrows landed on the ground, emitting light smoke and making a sizzling sound. Light smoke and mist cover the line of sight. When the soul sensor is suppressed, once the line of sight is affected, it means extremely dangerous. Tang Zhen said that his subordinates were hit by water arrows and were corroded on the spot until only bones remained. Lin Moyu's body glowed with pure white light, and the bone armor glistened, blocking the water arrows. But only half a second later, the skeleton armor exploded into pieces. Half a second was enough. Lin Moyu jumped out in one step, leaped over 10 meters, and escaped from the fog in an instant. The water arrow didn't continue to chase and kill. Turning his head, he saw that the skull on the wall had disappeared, and the light smoke of the water vapor also quickly faded away. Lin Moyu probably understood how those bones came from before. The water arrow just now carried an astonishing corrosiveness, corroding away the flesh and leaving only the bones. And the heads of those people were all in the wall, turning into jets of water arrows. Feeling a little hairy in my heart, the manor owner's hobbies seemed a little unexpected. Just ask yourself, even though he is also manipulating the undead army, he has been battle-tested and kills without blinking an eye. But he hasn't used other people's heads as transmitters yet. This is not just a matter of hobbies, it is even a bit abnormal. The first danger encountered after entering the castle was actually nothing at all. As long as you react a little faster, you can dodge it. If this is the case, how could those strong men die here? Lin Moyu speculated that it might be because of the Great War that year, which destroyed all the defense facilities in the castle. What he sees now is only a little bit of carnage back then. But there are only a few remnants, combined with the suppressing power here, it is enough to give the god a headache. Enough to make the god king fall. I first encountered the flaming skull, and then the water-spraying skull. It was exactly the same as Tang Zhen's encounter, and the order did not change. The only difference is that Tang Zhen met them in the secret room, while he met them in the old castle. Moving forward, several corpses appeared on the ground again. These bones also have no heads, but they are somewhat different from before. There were many scratches on these bones, as if they were scratched by some kind of sharp weapon. The owner of the skeleton was extremely powerful during his lifetime, and the skeleton was also extremely hard, which could leave traces on it. The strength of the attack at that time can be imagined. Lin Moyu touched one of the bones, wanting to examine the scratches carefully. Crash! The bones collapsed immediately, unable to maintain a complete structure, and scattered all over the place. It has been too long, and if there is no external interference, the bones can still maintain their original state. With a little external force, the bones will collapse immediately. Lin Moyu sighed softly, stopped touching him, and continued walking forward. Soon, he came to the end of the passage again, and the snow mouth to the right appeared again in his sight. Through the bend, you can see the other side of the passage, which is also a bend, connecting another road. And in the middle of the channel, there is a gap. Sure enough, it's back-shaped, and it's the same as the structure of Yinhu's family in the memory of the previous life. The garden, the ancient castle, and the grove behind it, the artistic conception is really good. Lin Moyu said softly. He walked into the corner with one step, and then his body accelerated sharply, rushing forward. Behind him is the whistling gust of wind, turning into countless pillows and sweeping towards him. Although Lin Moyu is not afraid, there is no need to deal with these sharp blades. Lin Moyu raised his speed to the limit and ran wildly in the channel. The passage was not long, only a few hundred meters, and he ran to the gap in the middle of the passage in an instant, and ran in without hesitation. The strong wind brushed against his back and whizzed through the passage. Lin Moyu chuckled. This level is not difficult. Sangguan was exactly the same as what Tang Zhen encountered, and it was up to him to figure it out on his own. After passing through the back-shaped corridor, I really entered the inside of the fortress. There was a faint light coming from the front, and Lin Moyu saw many portals on the left and right sides. The door was closed, and he didn't check it out. Not to mention whether he can open these doors with his ability. If it is opened, there is some danger inside that cannot be dealt with by oneself, and that is no different from courting death. One more thing is worse than one less. Almost at the end, Lin Moyu saw clearly that there was a courtyard outside the passage. And on the left at the end, there is a room with an open door. The door of the house should be said to have been split open, and it has been split in two and fell to the ground. The inside of the house can be seen from the outside. Study. Thick and ancient books are stacked neatly in the bookcase. It looks very old-fashioned. In today's big world of the human race, books have long since faded out of the stage of history. Most of the information is disseminated in a more intuitive way. It is already difficult to find a few more books. People who came out of the small world may not be unfamiliar with books, but many people who were born in the big world have never seen books at all. The structure of the study is very simple, with bookshelves on three sides. The bookshelves are about 2 meters high and filled with books. In the center of the study is a large desk, on which there are also several books, as well as paper and pens. Lin Moyu entered the study room. A thick layer of dust had accumulated in the study room, and no one had entered it for a long time. His arrival left a pair of footprints on the ground. With his arrival, the breath of the outside world was brought in, and a breeze blew into the study. The balance in the house was broken, and the bookshelf suddenly collapsed before his eyes, turning into dust. Then a chain reaction appeared, and the bookshelves in the study room, together with the books on the shelves, turned into dust. The time is too long, so long that these substances have decayed long ago. But because it is always in a static state, it still looks intact. But once the balance is broken, they will completely turn into time dust and cease to exist. Lin Moyu was a little helpless. He could see that although these books were preserved by some special means, the materials were also high quality, not ordinary wood and paper. But still can't resist the years. The study room is full of dust and eloquence, and the last thing lost in the years is the table. But Lin Moyu saw that a piece of animal skin fell from the table and did not turn into dust. With sharp eyes and quick hands, he stretched out his hand and sucked the animal skin. Same as the piece of animal skin obtained before, this peculiar animal skin can withstand the corrosion of time and is sealed intact. There are characters on it, which are also in ancient Chinese, which Lin Moyu can understand. The same problem, time is too long, although the animal skin can withstand the corrosion of time, but the writing on the surface of the animal skin cannot. The ink has dried up, and there are not many that can still be discerned. They still called, while the master was away. Where did the master go? He should be fighting with their strongest. I don't know whether to win or lose, I can't do much, hold on. If you want to kill me, you have to pay the price. The information was intermittent, and after reading it, Lin Moyu looked thoughtful. The same animal skin is recorded from different angles. For the first animal skin, the recorder is the person who invaded here. The second animal skin was recorded by the owner of the manor. It is also strange that the intruder and the owner of the manor have the same kind of animal skins. Moreover, the owner of this manor, as the intruders said, was very powerful. He killed their yuanshi, suppressed their ruler, and even summoned the Great World Rune. And the owner of the manor, in his records, actually has a more powerful owner. The master of the manor is already so powerful, so how far should his master aim? I'd say, his master, and their mightiest fight. What is the identity of the master, and who is their strongest? How strong should the strongest man be? Compared with the old man riding the green bull, who is stronger and who is weaker? Lin Moyu unconsciously thought of the old man who rode the green bull and wiped out countless strong men with his hands. I just feel that this world is full of mystery. When I was in the small world, I solved my doubts one by one, thinking that I had seen the whole world clearly, and I was no longer a frog at the bottom of a well. When I arrived in the big world, my understanding of the big world gradually deepened. It is probably already clear what the Vermilion Bird starfield looks like now, and the other three-party starfields will not be too different. It's just that the city of gods is still mysterious, and so is the way of the gods of the human race. Unexpectedly, a new mystery appeared now, which seemed even more terrifying. After pondering for a moment, Lin Moyu sighed helplessly, after all, I'm still not strong enough. Don't worry, I will always figure it out in the future. Leave the study, leave the corridor, and welcome the light. The light is falling from the top. Here is a small flower garden, and in the center of the flower garden, there is a stone table. There is a small artificial pool on the side, and a big tree full of vitality next to the pool. The luxuriant branches and leaves of the big trees block the light from the sky and reflected mottled light and shadow. The whole picture looks very harmonious and beautiful. But if you look closely, you will find that this is not the case at all. On the edge of the artificial pool, instead of stones, skeletons are laid. Around the flower garden, white bones are also used for decoration. Under the stone table, it is fixed with bones. Even the stool beside the stone table is made of white bones. Accompanied by the strong death energy, the vigorous trees, the blooming flowers, and the bones of the forest, this picture becomes strange all the same. There is a tea set on the stone table, and there are books beside the tea set. Lin Moyu immediately understood that this is the place where the owner of the manor rests and reads. I took a book from the study not far away, drinking tea and reading a book here, very leisurely. Lin Moyu walked into the flower garden, and with his arrival, brought the wind. The books on the stone table suddenly turned into dust, but the tea set and stone table did not. The stone table is made of the same material as the fortress, and it can also withstand the years. The tea set also seemed unusual, it should be some kind of treasure. Otherwise, under the years, it should have turned into dust long ago. Lin Moyu walked over and was picking up the tea set when suddenly his body tensed up. Whoosh! There were several black shadows whipping down in the air. Lin Moyu quickly retreated to avoid the black shadows. The black shadow took a moment, changed the angle and swiped again. Lin Moyu saw clearly as he retreated, it was the branches of this big tree. Have become refined. Or have always been like this. Lin Moyu's heart moved slightly, and 10 skeleton god warriors appeared, rushing forward fiercely. Several of the skeleton god warriors jumped up high, grabbing the axe and cutting off the drawn branches. The rest rushed towards the big tree. The moment the skeleton god warrior appeared, the big tree trembled violently, and the branches were retracted at an alarming speed, causing the skeleton god warriors to chop down one after another. Lin Moyu was slightly taken aback. What's going on? I haven't started to fight yet, so why didn't this tree stop? Was he intimidated? Or did he know he was no match? Or, Lin Moyu glanced suspiciously at the skeleton god warrior, who seemed to be somewhat different from the skeletons in the manor. But this big tree obviously has its own will, and it doesn't know how many years it has existed. Maybe you can ask. The key is whether you can communicate with your grandson. The branches swayed slowly, and the tree body leaned forward slightly, as if saluting Lin Moyu. Lin Moyu felt even more strange. Do you recognize me? The branches shook their branches, indicating that they did not know each other. It can't speak, and it doesn't have soul transmission. Although conscious, it is still unable to communicate with the outside world. But the big tree has a big tree's way. It stretched out its branches, wrapped them around the stone table, and then pulled it out hard. The stone table lifted off the ground, revealing a hole. There is a black box in the hole. The big tree swayed, as if telling Lin Moyu to take out the box. Lin Moyu took out the box, and Dashu put the stone table back in place. Without the box, the stone table seemed to be a little shorter. Lin Moyu put the box on the stone table. The material of the box is very special. Just the fact that it can go through a long time without damage is enough to show it's extraordinary. The big tree shook its branches slowly and made a rustling sound, as if saying to Lin Moyu, "Open it, open it." Lin Moyu didn't feel any malice from the big tree, nor did he feel any danger from the box. When you can't make an accurate judgment, you can only choose to try. And Lin Moyu has confidence in his own strength, especially in his life-saving ability. The box was slowly opened, and Lin Moyu's pupils shrank suddenly. In the box, a rectangular, extremely delicate small sarcophagus lies inside. The coffin of sleep. Lin Moyu was very surprised that there was a sleeping bird in the box. He was not mistaken, because he had made a sleeping coffin with his own hands. No matter in appearance or breath, it was definitely a sleeping coffin. Take out the sleeping coffin and find that it has been activated, indicating that there are creatures sleeping in it. Didn't check it out. It's very troublesome to check the creatures in the sleeping coffin. They need to be refined first, and the refining can't be completed all at once. Don't be in a hurry. Put the sleeping coffin aside. There are other things in the box. A manual made of animal skins. It is the kind of special animal skin that can withstand the corrosion of time and years. It was just a piece before, but unexpectedly, it was made into a manual here. Lin Moyu can imagine that animal skins should be very precious. The animal skin on the study desk should have been written in a hurry. And the information in the animal skin handbook in front of him should be more complete. The manual is not big, just a little bigger than the palm of your hand, like a small children's book. The handwriting inside is neat, clear, and not messy. Obviously the writer was in a stable mood at the time, unlike the animal skins in the study, and the subject was a little messy. Moreover, the text in the manual does not seem to have been corroded by the years. It is very clear, as if it was written recently. Lin Moyu guessed that it should be related to the box outside. Lin Moyu carefully read the content in the manual, and the content in the folk book is less than imagined. The Great Master, as your most loyal servant, will obey all your orders. When you are fighting, I will protect your territory and kill any intruders. Your greatness is an existence that no one can imagine. On the first page, there is no substantive content, only a sentence of flattery. Lin Moyu frowned. This servant is too devoted to his master. It can no longer be described as respectful. His master is everything to him. To what extent do you have to be pious to write such words? And it's still as powerful as this one. Lin Moyu deeply felt the horror of the mysterious owner, and then turned to the second page. In the 998th year of immortality, your glory shined on Tulu. In the year 13,255 of the immortal age, your glory spread over the blue ocean. In 28553 of the immortal age, your glory spread to heaven. One point in time, one sentence. This is true for several pages. At this point in time, because of the incomparable comparison, it is impossible to study it, and it is impossible to know which time the immortal age in the records represents. After that, it should be the name of the place. Glory to Tulu, it should be a place called Tulu invaded. After that, every 10,000 years, a place will be re-invaded. Lin Moyu counted, there are 4 full pages, and the records are all like this. There are 18 places, and it took 300,000 years. I just don't know if their years are the same length as the years in this world. Is this the bill? Lin Moyu is a little strange. The manual is like a bill, except for the pious compliment on the first page, there is nothing else. He thought it was a diary, and he might be able to get some other information, but now he is a little disappointed. At this time Lin Moyu saw that there was an animal's skin at the bottom of the box. This hide is very new, much newer than the manual, and so is the writing on it. The handwriting became messy again, but it wasn't the messy mess of panic, but weak. That's right, it was this feeling. Lin Moyu felt weakness from the handwriting. He got hurt. Lin Moyu guessed the situation at that time. Great Master, I have guarded the manor. Although this manor is not worth mentioning in your eyes, it cannot be violated by others. They used a special method, and the dead cannot be used by me. The enemy is strong, but I still won. I killed their marshal, their master, and all of them. Your castle has been traumatized, some of your playgrounds inside have been in chaos, and the gardens outside seem to have been invaded by foreign forces and become a little different. But it doesn't matter, they are dead, I have killed them all. I was injured, I obey your order, I will enter the coffin of sleep, waiting for your return, wake me up again. Great Master, your most devout servant, waiting for your call again. By the end, the handwriting was already very faint, as if he had no strength to continue writing. Lin Moyu knew that he had reached the last moment. If he didn't enter the sleeping coffin, he might die directly. Time does not pass in the coffin of deep sleep, what goes in will remain the same when it comes out. He is hoping that his master can save him. He has great confidence in his master. It's a pity that after so long, his master still hasn't shown up. It seems that something unexpected happened to his master. It's really dangerous, and absolute safety cannot be guaranteed at the middle level. Lin Moyu was vigilant in his heart and kept telling himself not to be careless. This world is far more dangerous than I imagined. One wrong step, and its end may be to fall. Lin Moyu put away the animal skins, and now they are all aligned. The animal skins in the study were written before the outbreak of the Great War, so they were written in a hurry. The animal skin in my hand was written after the war ended. And the manual for the hide is actually a bill. Except for the flattering words on the first page, the rest is bookkeeping, which can also be regarded as an alternative diary, but for Lin Moyu, it doesn't have much effect. In Lin Moyu's understanding, this may be an inter-ethnic war, an increasingly brutal and fierce war. Put all the hides into the box, and put the box away. The sleeping coffin is put away separately. But after thinking about it, he took out the last animal skin and put it together with the sleeping coffin. This animal skin can be said to be the suicide note of the manor manager, and it should be with the sleeping coffin. Lin Moyu scanned the flower beds and found the way to move on. I didn't expect that this place turned out to be the owner's playground. Perhaps for the existence of that level, the danger here is really not worth mentioning. After the war, some changes took place here. It became different, it became unrecognizable, and finally it became what it is now. Lin Moyu thought, left the flower garden, and entered the center of the tongue. After he left, the big tree in the flower garden began to tremble violently, and the pool beside it also began to ripple. Circles of inaudible vibrations quickly spread to the entire castle.